Lauren and Simon here with another Working Out Your Relationship tip, dealing with put downs.
So when you think about how you feel when you feel put down, right? Sometimes we brush it off, we kind of ignore it. Sometimes it really hurts inside, but we don't say anything about it. And sometimes it just kind of festers and it kind of builds and builds. But really, part of what ends up happening is there's a rupture in relationship. There's a rupture in connection. And again, this doesn't matter what the relationship is. There's still that rupture, and that when that rupture happens, that then leads to disconnection, which leads to anxiety, which then says, I wonder what else bad is going to happen.
Yeah, our defenses go up, our anxiety goes up, and it could be even a small little word or gesture. When we think of a put down, that could include so many different things. I mean, we communicate so much with our body language, and one look, right? One look could communicate criticism, blame, judgment, disapproval. So when we're talking about a put down, we're talking about any way that happens, not just a word that might sound negative, but any type of interaction.
So one of the things to think about is, if I'm the person that's speaking and Lauren now feels like she's had a put down, I may not have any understanding of that. I may not even have intended it that way. I may not have wanted that to come out that way, whatever it is. The point is, though, it's not up to me to decide if it was put down or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So really, if you're the one experiencing the put down, then it's on you to own that and to bring it forward.
And for the person receiving that, it's important for you to say, not to try and defend your position of saying, well, that wasn't my point, that wasn't my intention. Mm-hmm. It's to hear and to reconnect with this individual in a way that's actually going to lead to a better connection.
Mm-hmm. And this works really well in the framework of zero negativity. And this is basically a way of living. And it works really good when you can come into agreement with the key people in your life to say, we don't want to hurt each other. And sometimes it happens anyways. Even if it's not intentional, sometimes it can be intentional if we're upset or really sad or angry. But if we have this agreement, if we're say we want to live in the framework of zero negativity, then these type of repairs, these type of reconnections, these type of honest conversations of that was painful can happen. And then we can say, hey, let's go back to that framework of zero negativity.
And the reason we bring zero negativity up is because this is one of the frameworks of developing a safe connection with people. When people know that I can say, wow, that kind of hurt. That is actually now creating trust and safety in the relationship, mm-hmm. which then allows for, again, much more authentic, clear communication that can actually lead to deeper connection.
Mm-hmm. Now, we also have another video on how do you do a redo and a repair. And that is really part 2 to this one. They go hand in hand. Let's practice zero negativity. And when we slip out of that framework, intentionally or not, then we can go into a redo and a repair.
Oftentimes when we talk about zero negativity, people are like, well, but there are hard things in life. How do you talk about that? Mm-hmm. And so what we are not saying is that you avoid those things. What we're saying is, if you can put that into a different framework of how you have that conversation, can really make a difference in avoiding that negativity. So, one of the examples we use is, if Martin says to me, don't yell at me, then I'm thinking about yelling, mm-hmm. right? Rather than,
I would really like to have a kind, gentle conversation.
Now I'm thinking about ways to be kind and gentle. And so those are the kinds of ways that we can have maybe some difficult conversations, but now we're putting in, hey, now I can put some real things into the space that say, oh, I really want to do that. I want to be kind. I want to be gentle. Now, how can I do that? Now I can take ownership of it and bring that into mm-hmm. the space.
Yeah, I really think the key is when each of us can own our own experiences and then own our own responses to that. And that's a really good tip, is we can talk about ourselves and our experience, but when we do any of the pointing the finger, hey, it's not going to go so good. That's going to be a put down.
So hopefully this is helpful, right? So think about those times when you either are the person giving or the person receiving a quote put down. And again, it could be body language, it could be words, it could be actions. There are lots of ways that happens. And think about how can I now change that into a place of connection rather than that disconnection that's going to happen when we have this put down.
Mm-hmm. You know, we're available for further relationship coaching. If you are a type of person that experiences put downs often and with like a whole bunch of different people, and you're just like, oh, this is always feeling this way, we would love to work with you and help you out. And if you're in a relationship that's very conflictual and put downs are flying back and forth all the time, we also have some great tools on how to do some reframing and safe conversations. So reach out to us. We would love to have a conversation.
And again, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, share it with your friends, like it. We would love to hear any comments you have, and we look forward to seeing you next time.